everyone, I'm Krika and this is Art Rendezvous. Welcome to episode 8. This is a show where we invite incredibly talented artists and talk all about art. So if you're an art lover, please like and subscribe our channel. Tonight we have a very special guest artist joining us all the way from Greece, and she has been part of Austin art community for several years. I'm very excited to welcome Giota Vorgia to our show. Hi, Giota.
Hi, hello.
Welcome to Art Rendezvous.
It's my pleasure. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So you are a fine artist. Would you describe your style as fine artist?
Yes, I can. I'm a fine artist and my style is realism. I love realism, but I have created a new style which I have named it uplifting naturalism. I love realism because through realism I can represent the beauty that there is around me, and in this way I can make other people see this beauty. And as Edgar Degas said, it's not about what you see, but what you make other people see. And I would add to this that what you reveal to others to see. I like to show the people the beauty, which is always available when you are in the present, in the moment, you live in the moment. So I just call everybody to stay in the moment and stop worrying about anything else, because there is the real beauty in the realism. For me.
That is very, very beautiful, and I love the message that you have. And absolutely, I can see the paintings you have are so that does make me feel so calm and as if I'm close to nature. But what inspired you to become an artist?
I think that I didn't become an artist. I was born to be an artist. I was one before my mother gave the birth. And I managed to have an artist lifestyle because most of my relatives are artists. I had the privilege to have both of my parents artists. So my father was always painting and my mother was painting too. And now she's a writer, and my brother and my sister also pianist. So I was in an environment that helped me grow my artistic skills. Another thing that helped me is that my parents, it was their goal that they wanted their children to be very close to art. So we traveled a lot, all over Europe. And until I finished my high school, I have been to every country and had visited every art museum or monument there. So with their guidance, my parents' guidance, I became more into art. I could feel what is good art and what is not good. So my aesthetic became raised through the years. They helped me with this. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. The environment helps so much with our creative skills, and being surrounded by the family that is so creative, it's natural to become an artist. But I've noticed in your paintings, you are mostly drawn to the beaches and rocks, and so why are you so drawn to the natural coastal elements so much?
I have lived. I am Greek, and I have lived the most of my life. I was in Greece until the last few years that I came in Austin. So I have lived all my life in coastal areas. The sea is my friend. The stones are my friends too. So I know and I have experienced the therapeutical effect that the stones in the sea have done to me. So regarding the stones help melt away the tension that the everyday tension that we all have, and heal every little or big problem that we are dealing with. um, the stones have this energy, this high vibrational energy, and people, everybody knows that
Mhm.
about the energy of the stones. So having stones in my space around me help me feel better and help me be a better person. And I, I started doing those stone series back in 2004 when I had my when I not my first when I was walking down at the beach. It was my everyday routine that, but I suddenly realized that my frequency was um, so perfect at the moment that I managed to see stories around me happening, stories that the pebbles were telling me, like the setting of the stones. I could see the big stone that was covering the little one, or the texture of the one was the very angry one, and the other one was the soft one, like a mother. And I was seeing stories, and I was like a storyteller, and I tried after that to show that those silent observers, the stones are silent observers of us, of the people, of the story, of the history, of the past.
Yeah.
And they are trying to share with us the wisdom of the future. And I was like the person that is going to help others and share those stories and make them find a better way, a better path in their life. That's how the last 16 years I am I'm working with stone stories through my oil paintings.
You're so right about the energy of the stones, and I never thought about it like that. Every time I go to the beach, I do feel so. When I come back, I feel so energized, and the beach vacations are so refreshing. Like I come back with
Are they
new
yet?
energy. So yeah, I never thought about it like that, but you're so right. Um, and so, what has been your journey like to become an artist, as a professional artist?
Yes. I was always drawing, painting. The extension of my hands were the brushes and the pencils, and I was so privileged that my home, we had an art studio in my home, so everything was around me. I didn't have to ask for anything. I just grabbed the right materials and I was ready to do anything. But um, I chose not to become an artist. I mean, a fine artist. I chose to become a graphic designer first, and my degree is there. I was a graphic designer along with my painting journey for over than 15 years. Um, and I was really successful in this area because I love graphic design. I love doing books and advertisements and things like that. But I always had this fine art in the edge of my head. I just wanted to escape and do more and have more and more and more time from my everyday routine. And I was just keeping this low. I mean, when I had time, I would paint. But after I gave birth to my three boys, I have three boys, I realized that I had to give to them quality time, but they needed for me to be a happy mother too. So I decided that it was about time to stop working as a graphic designer, and that should give my time, my precious time, because the most precious thing in the world is our time, right?
Yeah.
And I should give my time to what I really love, to make me really happy, and then to give the best I could give to my kids and my family, of course, because I have a wonderful husband. So when I changed this my path and I became an artist, I saw the sky more bright. I saw my life more fulfilled. I felt really happy, and that was something that it had to be done, and it should be done earlier. So I suggest to all people, when they something is talking into them, they have to listen and not just wait and wait for the perfect time. They have to do it now. And so the last years, I would say, when I say last years, I mean the last less than 5 years, maybe 5 years, I work full time as as a fine artist, because before that I was working as a graphic designer too. No, yes, graphic designer too. So I give my whole full my time there. My kids grew up, so they are teenagers now, and I never regret that.
I see some of the paintings that you have in the background. Is there a favorite painting of yours that you would like to talk a little bit about?
Yes, I love all my paintings. I would say that there is a story behind those paintings. So when I say this, you will wonder what is he talking about. So I will just tell you how it all started. As I was walking at the beach near my home in Athens, in Greece, and I was, my mindset was in perfect, and I was happy, and I had this amazing euphoria in my heart, and I was open to seeing new things, and I was aware of the moment and my existence and everything. I was looking down and I was walking, and I started to see that those stones, those pebbles, the setting that they have are talking to me and are sharing with me something, their stories. So this is what I told you before, but I will tell you exactly. This is a print of my very first painting. This is the stepping over. So this painting was created back on 2004.
Mhm.
The day it was a lovely afternoon, and I was working, and I saw this setting. And as you can see, there are some friends here all around, maybe same age people. And this one dares to go to the other side. As you can see here, there is a wood, a stick wood, and this one goes to the other side. Is feeling ready to go to the other side. That means that we all have this moment of
Mhm.
feeling that we are ready to do the next step. We feel that we're ready for a new journey. We are ready to start living a different life, or going to another continent, or marry the perfect person, or things like that. But there's a special moment that we're ready to do that. And this moment, we have to think and say that yes, let's do it, because trying to do it, and or maybe not trying to do it, maybe postponing again and again, it will not lead us anywhere. We should just do it. And after I did this painting, I felt so fulfilled, and I decided that this is my area. This is that I should do that and share all the stories. And
That's
of
a
course, you can
beautiful
see other
message.
stores here. You can see other stores here. For example, this one is the white sail. There is a big white stone, and around this one, there are all those small, little ones, pebbles, that are the experience we have to choose to do our journey. So this is like a boat, and the little stones are the journey, the experience in the journey. And the other one here is the I will find a way, and shows the ocean, the sea that wants to embrace those pebbles here. And there is always way when there is love in our hearts.
This is why I love to read the stories that are associated with the artwork, because then only we can understand the true message that is the artist is trying to convey. So yeah, those are beautiful. I feel the connection after talking to you more with those paintings. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
So you are an international artist now, and would you describe a little some of your achievements and your participations over the years you have had as an artist?
Okay, so I have been awarded many times since I was a little girl. So I was making money as a little girl because with contents and things like that. But as I grew up, I have been awarded many times, but the latest ones that I would like to share with you is the festival that was in Athens, 2016. And I had my own big space. It was a festival, but I was the only painter, fine artist that had been given a space to exhibit in Athens at the Olympic Pinacothek of Athens, and it was a fantastic place, this one. And the mayor of the Olympic installation said about me that I am one of the most prominent artists of today, and I thank him for this honor. And then when I came to Austin, I have been double awarded by the RRA, Round Rock Arts, and the Texas State University. I was I had the best in show by the jury and also by the People's Choice. So both of my paintings were awarded, and I was the only one that have been double awarded for all these years, and thank them about that. And then I have been in contemporary art gallery, and I have been awarded 3 times there. Those are the last 4 years, but you know, are the most recent ones. So that's why I remember. I had honorable recognitions and best in shows. I had 2 there, and I don't remember. You know, maybe it's too boring. You know, my real award is when I see the faces of the people when they come to see my shows, and when they see when I post something on Facebook, let's say, and when the comments that I receive from people, this is my biggest award, because those people at this specific moment, they connect with me, and you cannot understand how the euphoria that I feel in my heart when they understand what I have exposed. I expose my heart, my feelings, my everything through my art. So it's not about the words. Sometimes it's about the feelings that we get
Yeah.
that rise in our heart, and after that we can share to more people. I cannot say more than that.
Absolutely, that is the greatest feeling. I know when someone else, when people appreciate your work and they're willing to make it a part of their home and they look at it every day. That is the biggest compliment you can get as an
May
artist.
I want to add something about this, that Kevin Hall is he has awarded me also as his special guest artist. Is a community of people that he's a best-selling author. I'm sorry, and he has written a book which is the power of words, Aspire, the power of words.
Mhm.
And in this book, he is talking about how the power that the words that we're using um, every day, and he says that I am his visual expression of his book. And he said it's an honor for that. And I want to say that he said about my art that what we have around us reflect to our inner um, mood. I wouldn't say that this word, but I would say that it reflects. We have to choose what is around us. We must not leave designers or others choose about our space, because this what we have, even a painting or a statue or anything, it has to talk to us, because then this will rise good, better and better mood every day. It
Yeah,
reflects.
our surroundings are extension of us, who we are as a person, and our surroundings shows us and they inspire us every day, and they lift us up how we keep our surroundings. um, and besides being an artist, you're also a teacher, right? So would you talk about having students all over the world, and you have been teaching through online classes now? Would you talk a little about that?
So before the quarantine, I had my physical classes in Austin, and I have many kids. I love kids. I have to say that they are my I adore kids. I adore people. I love to be with people that want to grow their skills and want to become a better version of themselves. And I help them do that. And art is a way they express their inner self. And I am always there for them. So before the quarantine, I was there. I was, you know, having much time with them every day. But after the quarantine, I didn't know how to get in touch with them. Oh, that was it was a disaster. I mean, I needed to be with them as much as they needed to be with me. And so Zoom classes started after that. I mean, many people find a new way of teaching after this period. You can find light in the darkness always.
Yeah.
And so now I connect and I have classes all over the world in a few months. And I have classes, of course, in the US, in London, in China, and I have also a class in Hawaii with 10, 15 kids there, and they wait for me because, they are so lonely, they feel so lonely there, they need a teacher.
Yeah.
So I give my guidance in art, and I love being with people that want to do something good for themselves. So the good thing about teaching art is that I break down all the steps. I have a very detailed class assignment. So there is not one possibility to fail, for somebody to fail. So they all have amazing artworks at the end of the class. And people ask me, how does this is happening? I am promoting a perfect mindset during my lecture. So people start to believe that they can do that. So at the end of the class, they do amazing things. And if you visit my page on Facebook, Vorgia Art Studio, you will see that teenagers or people that have never ever had rubbed any brush, in 2 or 3 months, they have done amazing landscapes because they believe that they can do. I believe that they can do.
Yeah.
So maybe they believe me.
That is wonderful. I mean, yes, just having that confidence in students that they can't fail, that is a great way to start. And I love how you are teaching. Uh, well, Yota, you are a beautiful person, and you create beautiful art. I'm so I I'm so happy to talk to you. It was a very exciting experience.
It's my
Thank
pleasure.
thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
it's time to invite our second guest artist tonight who will talk to us about art of writing. With that, I would like to invite Elena Knapp on the show.
And someone commented saying like, you know what, I actually do have a couple of really cool books, you might be interested, and just send them to me. It was really cool, like really good books, which I still have as a perfect reference for different styles. But then kind of like that urge went to universe, and I guess I got the answer through that. The next time we were visiting here in Austin, art the festival of book festival here,
Mhm.
we uh, stumble upon the booth of the Austin Calligraphy Guild at the City Scribe. They had like little booth basically introducing calligraphy to public, and there were probably five different women sitting there like writing beautiful names for people on like bookmarks. And I immediately joined, and that's how my calligraphy life started. So since then, I'm a member of a calligraphy guild, and taking all the classes that are available, and you know, basically that world kind of opened to me.
So you were searching for some guidance, and universe guided you, which brought it
I
to
think
everything.
so. I believe in energy. It was like literally answered within like a week for me, so that was pretty amazing.
And it's so nice for someone to offer you books on the Facebook, and
I
I
wish I knew who that lady was. I mean, she sent me those books, and I was like, I thank her on Facebook. But then, year later, or like years later, I was like, I wish I knew who it was. I wanted to send her a calligraphy card, just like create something beautiful. And I think at some point I asked if that lady was still there, following me on Facebook, and that I didn't have any answers, and unfortunately I didn't save her card or like her address or anything like that. So,
Yeah.
but if she's watching at some point, that would be cool.
Yeah.
I only want to send you a card.
Let's hope she's watching.
Let's do yeah, let's hope that.
Um, so I was thinking in this time and age, when all of us are so glued to our phones, iPad or laptop, we barely use pen and paper. So, what is the significance of this art? Um, how do you explain that?
I think people still have a very big admiration for something that is handmade, specifically something that they can keep for, as a um, something that will be framed for a family member at home, or like special words or a poem or like a Bible quote or prayer. Those things are still highly appreciated. They make amazing gifts, for someone, especially for someone who's got pretty much everything, and you're struggling what to give them. So, it's like converting maybe a kind of like nice poem or Bible verse into a beautiful art piece. That's kind of
Mm.
a nice gift. Plus, people wanted to make memories, for specific dates, for their weddings, for their babies born, for like
Mhm.
certain certificates as a thank you token for like years of working with the company or things like that, or graduation certificates and things like that. Um, to be honest, there is a whole new wave in calligraphy world as well, and like into digital world, like with iPads
Mhm.
and the iPencils. The Procreate is actually, there's a whole new wave of like digitizing calligraphy, but actually creating calligraphy in the digital form as well. So again, that this world is kind of a sky's the limit, really. And I think it's developing in different ways. There's certain rules and certain historic, like kind of a base for the calligraphy, but there's always new twists and new modern, fillings and flavors, and new calligraphers coming in and just like trying something completely different and completely provoking, and so it's always interesting, and people bring their own kind of soul and vibes and their, I don't know, their visual to calligraphy word as well. So
Mhm.
it's fascinating.
So, are there standard styles that you usually stick to, or do you come up with your styles as and when the occasion demands?
I There's definitely styles. There are styles that created like centuries ago, where all calligraphy styles were created, and kind of standards of those were created. The Bibles were written in different standards of calligraphy. There's whole there are different, or like types of calligraphy. There's like pointed pen calligraphy, which I use more often than the others. There's a broad edge calligraphy, and there's brush calligraphy, and so on. So, as they say, like you have to learn the rules first before you break them. So definitely every calligrapher will have their own style. Um, but there's definitely tons of rules that you have to learn in letter form. So like a calligrapher who is professionally trained, they will know and kind of see if the calligrapher was trained and they know the letter form. There is the whole way of like um, calligraphers that sort of teach themselves, watching a couple of YouTube videos, and they basically take like a nibs and ink and just like kind of write
Yeah.
with their style. But again, it's maybe just the first step into calligraphy world, and they could learn more and learn the different styles and different historical hands, what they call them. So, but yeah, it's definitely, you learn the rules and then you kind of break them and create your own style and your own twist.
I guess it requires a lot of patience to learn those rules.
It's definitely practice. So, like, the rules are not really difficult, but it's creating that muscle memory
Yeah.
and creating, like, you might be able to visualize the correct form of the letters, but connecting that form to your hand and like the way your hand moves and like the ink flows on the paper
Mhm.
and so on. And I would say it's endless, really, like journey, because you have to practice constantly, you have to practice
Yeah.
continuously, you have to practice different styles. Sometimes before you start a new project, if you haven't written in that style or hand, you have to sit down and practice for a couple of hours before you even start sketching. So it's like, it's not one of those skills that you can come back and kind of like, okay, I'll do it right now. You definitely do have certain muscle memory for different things, but if you want it to look better, you have to kind of warm up and practice again. So it's like, yeah, it's practice makes it better for sure, but there's so many different styles that I haven't even tried. So
Wow.
there's always room to learn.
Um, so just curious, how many stars do you work with right now? Just
I don't really count them. I mean, I do really work a lot with pointed pen calligraphy based on the copper plate style or round hand, what they called. I do work with Spencerian sometimes, but I still need to practice more to kind of like get into the classic, perfect way of looking into that. But again, I do still have ability to do my own twist to it. The copper plate style has ability to have so many different variations. So you can twist it into more modern style. You can twist it into like very settled and classic. You can add lots of flourishes and and kind of like make it more different fun look. And again, you just kind of uh, do different things for each and every client. You were just like flashing out some of the pieces that I made. There was a piece with the blackbird lyrics of the song. So that piece I did with a lot of flourishes, and I thought the whole, yeah, that's the piece. So as you see, there's lots of flourishes, and I wanted to kind of have the feel of like a feather almost of the birds. So that's why all the flourishes kind of came
oh,
along. So it's the same style with most pieces,
yeah.
with the copper plate, but again, it could be completely different twist to it that people might not even recognize if you are like not trained on those different styles. You might feel it's completely different.
So what are the events or occasions do you mostly get asked to provide calligraphy services and um, your clients come?
There's obviously any events, mainly weddings, but any other events that people get invited to. So it could be invitations, it could be menu, it could be signage for the actual event and envelopes for the invitations. So that's kind of one big thing. But I do get a lot of orders for the commissions for artsy pieces. So it could be a wedding gift, it could be certificate for someone who just completed like years of job, for some company. It could be baby announcement certificates or like baby birth certificates. It could be um, favorite poem or Bible verse or things like that. So, or lots of wedding vows as well. So people usually kind of come back for the first year anniversary. It makes a very good gift for the wedding vows to kind of have them framed, and have them in your home, for you to kind of look at that. But then again, it could be, uh, you know, a like it's not only vows, but it could be also mixed up with some illustration of their wedding flowers or something like that. So it kind of has this lots of memory and feelings about that day. So yeah, lots of artsy pieces I do.
And you also teach art.
I do actually teach at Craft. It's a art studio for grown-ups and here in Austin. So I do teach their watercolor classes. The schedule is on my Instagram, usually on all of my classes. And if you also visit the Craft website, They have all different classes for grown-ups, and since pandemic started, we kind of moved those classes in virtual board. So we do now the Zoom classes as well. So it's classes that's suitable for people that come to, you know, desire to learn something, but they never done anything with watercolors. So they come in and they get provided all the supplies, and I teach them how to do things. So it's very fun to see kind of people coming in and having no ability or have never tried anything with watercolors and leaving that class 2.5 hours later with like two pieces that they can frame. So it's pretty amazing.
So you don't teach calligraphy, like?
I do actually teach calligraphy, but I prefer to teach calligraphy in like one-on-one settings, because I believe calligraphy cannot be taught like in 2 hour class. Although I've done introductory classes for, sometimes it's a bride could kind of get together with bridesmaids and have a couple of bottle of wines and just want to try calligraphy. So I've done that. And sometimes like companies, corporates, they do events for their employees with like where they could be introduced to calligraphy. So I've definitely done that. But like teaching calligraphy, I
Mm.
usually prefer to teach like in smaller settings. It could be one-on-one or a couple of students. And we meet up like every other week or every week and kind of practice together and do training.
Yeah, certainly. Half an hour is not enough. It's
Yeah.
probably it's probably enough to just to know that if you want to learn or not.
Well, exactly, but it gives you
Yeah.
exact, proper understanding of like what you would need if you wanted to start calligraphy,
Mm.
and how difficult or how like if you enjoyed it. And some people kind of get like really inspired afterwards and think like that's it, I want to learn that. Or some people think like, oh, it looks too easy, but it's
Yeah.
not, and they kind of give up on that idea. But again, it's not for everyone. And like,
Right.
if people get inspired like with any art classes as well, for some people it's just one of those classes to come in, have a again glass of wine and have fun with everyone and just forget about that and jump into something else. So anything kind of works. But like it's nice to, I really love when people get like really obsessed with with my calligraphy or watercolor classes, and they send me messages after like months later. It's like, look at that, I've done that. So it's really amazing, because I kind of feel that that was part of my soul that I shared with people, and just my inspiration that I shared with some other people.
Yeah. And I've also seen some of the decorative plates that you have on your website. What are those?
Well, that was my admiration for mandalas. I do a lot of like doodling and mandalas paintings, and I create them right now on my iPad on Procreate. So it's one of my meditative things that I do a lot. So with those plates, basically when I moved to Austin, I
Mhm.
was really craving some artsy things, and I started like practicing different things. And at some point, it was like around Christmas, I think I decided to make a gift for family members here and paint on the plates.
Mhm.
So kind of present for my in-laws and some other family here, this handmade plate for them for Christmas. And that's how it kind of started. So I started with 3 plates, and then I was painting like 3 plates a day for the art shows and everything. So it was amazing. I would just go to like one of those thrift store and buy old porcelain or like ceramic plates and just
Yeah.
paint on them. And they are all freehand. I
Mhm.
never really planned them. It was amazing. It was fun. I still probably will come back at some point and do more of this, but I've painted those for years, and like I was participating in lots of art shows and galleries, and had like pretty cool setups with different places and here in Austin. And I still have some of them in my house, so like decorating my own walls here. My husband usually kind of like changes the decoration in our house. He moves them around, so we'll have one installation in one part of the house, and he'll be like, "Okay, let's change it to another thing." But yeah, it's something that I really enjoyed, and at some point probably will paint more of that. And I was painting on the plates with like ceramic paints and acrylic, so it's like a dots, basically tons of dots that you apply in different, different places on the plate, but it creates like really cool ornaments that I like.
Well, they do make a really good gift and really look nice on the wall.
Yeah, they could be on wall. I also painted a bunch of plates that could be people use sometimes for their like ring plates,
Mhm.
because they dry pretty solidly, so like you don't really have to worry about that. And I've done quite a few of those ring plates, but yeah, it's mainly for decorating on the wall.
Well, thank you so much, Elena. Thanks for being here. It was a real
Thank you.
pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much for having me.
So that was our show for tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe our channel at Rendezvous. We'll be back in 2 weeks with more art and inspiring stories. Until then, stay safe and don't forget to wash your hands. Bye.